ready to come in for my swim. I'm ready to begin. And I can't wait to scream. Here I am.
John Denton.
That's right. I am not dead. I was living in Laurel Canyon on Lookout Mountain Drive with Robbie, our guitar player. And Jim came over one day, and he was kind of down and, kind of depressed. And Robbie said, well, why don't you walk the block up to the top there where you can see the whole city, and that might make you feel better. So about an hour later, he came back and he was transformed. He was like really in a good mood. And little did we know that he had transformed his angst into art. Then he handed us this crumpled piece of paper, and it said, "People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets are uneven when you're down. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange."
Two doors, just one life. I stare at both doors, one dark and one light. What am I waiting for? I've been waiting in the belly of a whale my whole life, waiting for the light to shine. I've been holding the answers. I've had them all this time, waiting for the light to shine. I've been waiting for this day to happen. Now I can break from my holding pattern. I've been waiting for this day to happen. Now I can break from my holding pattern. Two roads, just one life, and I stare down both roads. I've been scraping.
Jim was always an example of going too far, so I was careful. I certainly dabbled. And then somewhere around the 80s, I learned about, we all as a country learned about substance abuse clinics, and we didn't know Jim was an alcoholic with a disease. And so I say to kids now, there are some folks who cannot dabble. To be totally honest, certain psychedelics, not cocaine, heroin, and all that. I mean, when those came along, even Jim thought, hard drugs. There's some knowledge to be gained, like the Indians treat peyote. It's not a party. You stay in the teepee all night. It's dangerous, and there's some knowledge there if you're really careful. But I say to these kids, what you need to do is find out who you are, and maybe you're one of those with a genetic tendency towards addiction, and you can't even have a beer or a Coke or whatever. End of sermon. I know Ray and Robbie like this film very much. Our relationship has been strained due to some legal troubles, which are over, and hopefully in the future they'll be better. What did we think of the Oliver Stone film? Well, some of us hated it. I personally thought it was quite good. I thought Val Kilmer should have been nominated for an Oscar. I love Oliver for giving it a go. He was in Vietnam when we were playing. It's a film that's primarily about the self-destructive artist, or the tortured artist, troubles. And, like, not that Picasso lived to 90, so there's many roads. Get it, kids? So, a little drug talk. I'm pleased that this is the real deal, not actors. And this gives a little more feeling of a pretty good dose of the time. You feel the era, and as Jim said, you can't help but reflect what's going on. And there wasn't quite that much of that in Oliver's movie. I haven't gotten my degree. I'm not going back. If I hadn't found these guys, well, I did. So thanks.
It turned out okay.
Thanks for coming.